As previously stated, 20 years ago, people sought refuge behind station walls from zombies known as corpses. Corpses are attacking an iron fortress. When one of the people is beaten, the others attempt to defend it. To die with honor, he is forced to commit suicide before she becomes a corpse. Ikoma is frustrated he yet again fails to create a weapon that will pierce through the corpse's heart. He, along with his friend, Takumi, is also part of a team of engineers who maintain iron fortresses that dock in the station. Lady I.M. of the Yamagawa family is here to see Ikoma since she knows his expertise in steam gun. But an iron fortress arrives earlier instead of tomorrow. As reported, a station fell, so it is natural it has one less stop to make. The occupants go through thorough body inspection to see if they are not infected by corpses. However, a priest, Shimon, and his petite girl companion, Mume, skip the inspection and instead are directed by Kenshu, Yamagawa's head, directly to his quarters. When an occupant is accused for being a corpse and fears being persecuted, the guards begin aiming their rifles. Ikoma objects hard to make them stop but was beaten up instead. Everyone is shocked when hearts of corpses fall out from his bag. Unfortunately, the occupant is shot when he tries to run away. His death proves he wasn't a corpse. Ikoma chides everyone for being cowards. He claims he has been fighting as hard as them against corpses, but Kenshu has Kirusu knock him out and thrown into prison. I.M. is confused when Kenshu tells her about maintaining order as a knight's duty. Shimon talks to Kenshu that the duo are heading to Kongaokaku and need to get there on the next iron fortress. Mume sneaks out to visit Ikoma to talk about his earlier actions. When a scheduled iron fortress is about to dock in the station, it is not slowing down. Obviously, corpses have taken over it. Too late, it smashes through the sentry. Corpses everywhere. Panic everywhere. Let the feasting begin. Ikoma knows corpses are attracted to blood, so he slices his hand as bait to lead them back to his home so he could test his weapon. But it attacks from the roof. Luckily, he shoots in time and it pierces through its heart. Ikoma is ecstatic that his piercing cannon finally works. Then the bad news. He notices his arm bitten. Knowing he needs to make sure the virus doesn't reach his brain, he starts wrapping iron belts around his body before finally, strangling himself. With his steely determination, he wasn't the same person back then. The virus quickly dies down and his body returns to normal. Shimon and Mume are on their way to the iron fortress. Shimon realizes he has been bitten. So before committing suicide, he tells her to continue the journey alone and await young master's orders when she reaches Kongaokaku. A corpse stands before Mume. Is she going to fight barehanded? A roundhouse kick cuts off its head, but her bladed sandal is now stuck in the pillar. Ikoma, discovering that he has stopped the Kabane virus from infecting him, tells his fellow steamsmith Takumi of his success with his bolt gun and antivirus technique. Meanwhile, survivors of the Kabane attack fight a defensive battle within Ir0n station while seeking an opportunity to escape in the Kotsujo. Mume arrives dressed in battle gear and offers to clear the way so Yukina, the sole remaining engineer and an apprentice, can commander the Kotsujo. She leaps into the midst of the Kabane and leads them away, killing several in the process. The remaining citizens then rush to board the train. Meanwhile, Ikoma and Takumi attempt to board the train with his gun. Mume detects something different about Ikoma and vouches for him so he can board the Kotsujo. I.M. Yamagawa, Kensho's daughter, produces the special key to start the train's engine. Kirusu, one of the Bushi, tells Mume to defend the train's rear, but she refuses and falls asleep. While fending off a Kabane, Ikoma's infected heart is exposed, and he is eventually forced off the Kotsujo. However, the train is stopped by a malfunction of the drawbridge, and the passengers witness Ikoma killing the Kabane. Lecturing the passengers for their distrust, Ikoma manually releases the drawbridge, allowing the train to leave. Despite the Bushi's objections, Takumi and Mume get Ikoma back on the Kotsujo. Before Kirusu can kill him, Mume intervenes and reveals that she and Ikoma are Kabane, beings with an existence between humans and Kabane. Many would want to kill Mume and Ikoma, but I.M. doesn't want to be hasty as they saved their lives. Mume makes a deal with them that she will promise to stay in this rear coach if they take her to Kongaokaku, the Shogun's strongest station stronghold. Apparently, Ikoma is still reeling he is a corpse and wants to get off the train, but Mume beats the hell out of him. Later, she makes a deal with Ikoma to become her shield. As she fights corpses, she uses an immense amount of strength. She will soon grow tired and rest. That is when she is vulnerable and she wants him to guard her. So to start training him as her shield, she starts beating him up. Well, looks like Ikoma gets a beat down. Pathetic, Mume rushes out to the next coach when she thinks she smells a corpse. Kirusu thinks she wants to kill and will kill her fist. Mume dares him. Sorry to break your standoff, but a report comes in that the water tank is busted and they have to stop to make repairs. While it is being done, others prepare food as well as offer prayers to the departed. Mume and Ikoma learn they are similar in the sense that their family was killed by corpses years ago. Ikoma has a beautiful stone he found by the river and his sister had a matching one too. They kept it as charm. 5 years ago, their station was attacked by corpses. His sister was bitten. Ikoma naturally ran away even though he wanted so much to save her even if it means dying with her. When he returns, he was filled with regret but knew it was too late. His sister was gone. He destroys her body before she turns into a corpse. A few men are still wary of the Kabane duo. They want to take action to kill them now although Im stops them. Mume dares them but soon pays no heed and walks off into the main crowd. Meanwhile the men are shocked that Im dares to gamble with her life as she stands close to Ikoma. She then tests him by stabbing him and asks his resolve and to determine if they are their allies or foes. Shockingly or not, Ikoma does not bite her, because he made a vow he will never run away just to save his own skin. Corpses are the enemy and he vows to kill every single one of them. Doesn't this sound like Ir0n's vow too? The men back down after Im dares them to check Ikoma themselves. Later she apologizes to him for the test but wonders why he took the stab directly. He just turned into this form and is worried he cannot control his strength. But all that bleeding must have weakened him as he passes out. Meanwhile, Mume plays with the kids and makes them laugh, putting everyone else at ease that she isn't some hungry corpse. But all that playing has made her hungry and she now needs to eat. Blood? Are you f***ing kidding me? It is no surprise that everyone is just as startled. A pregnant woman has turned into a corpse, so I guess this is Mume's excuse to swiftly go kill her. As Im prepares the treatment, Ikoma gets up and feels the urge to bite her. Has he really turned into a zombie? Just great. Corpses are sighted in the distance. Back onto the train, Kirusu hits Ikoma away. Although he regains his sanity, Kirusu thinks he is putting up an act. Iron Fortress manages to carry on its journey before the corpses reach. With rumors spreading that the Kabane duo were the ones luring the corpses, some of the men blame Im. She admits she is unfit to lead and gives away the master key, a sign of authority, to one of them. They decide to switch the route to the mountains. Despite they will be prone to corpse attack, it is the faster way to Kangakaku. Some then throw Takumi, Sukari and Kajika back with the Kabane duo believing they are their supporters. With Mume hinting she is hungry for blood, they soon realize those men are trying to disconnect their coach. The sooner the Iron Fortress enters the tunnel, a horde of corpses jump in. Needless to say, a bloodbath is imminent, with innocent lives slaughtered and the remaining ones flee to the front. Among the corpses is a learner. This corpse is dangerous as it has previous fighting skills which make it formidable in combat. This means this learner can do samurai swordplay and avoid most attacks you throw at him. This massacre scene gives Ikoma the chills as it reminds him of his sister being killed. Mume and Ikoma plan to follow and take out the learner as it is moving towards the front coach traveling via the roof. However, there are many tunnels ahead and they must time their movements as well as take out other corpses. However, Mume is getting tired sooner than expected, so she warns Ikoma that he will have to fend himself for the time she is resting. As the corpses attack the front coach where a bastion has been created, Kibito notices melee combat is noticeable. Remembering how the Kabane duo fought, he tells Kirusu to use his samurai sword to fight. It works like a charm till he faces off with the learner in which he got stabbed. While he is being treated, Ikoma just arrived and screams he needs blood. He doesn't care whose but will promise he will defeat this learner. Instantly Im offers hers. She slits her hand for him to drink. That little drop is enough to power him up as he uses his piercing cannon to shoot through the learner's heart. Victory is theirs. As everyone cleans up the walls and floors of Iron Fortress, Im wrests back her authority and control. She decides to let the Kabane duo ride with them to Kangakaku. If they need blood, she will offer hers. Kirusu is against it, seeing her blood won't be enough to satiate them. That is when some of them like Takumi, Sukari, Kibito and Yukina volunteer to give theirs if they are ever needed. With Ikoma's new innovation and a few adjustments, others can fight with the same mechanism that Pierce Cannon is using. As they stop at the next station, there is no reply and they believe corpses must have overrun it. However, they spot a few survivors and rescue them. One of the survivors, Inoku, knows Mume. He talks to her privately, something about the shogunate creating weapons not to kill corpses but humans. He wants Mume to relay this to the young master, but seeing that Inoku had some sort of fallout with her brother, she isn't going to take him seriously. It sends shivers down her spine when he reminds her that her worth is only killing corpses. Lose that and she will be tossed aside too. Because of that, Mume starts acting strange. During Ikoma's briefing to remove a tower wreckage blocking the Iron Fortress path, she calls them cowards for wanting to go around the boiler where it is the nest for corpses instead of taking them on directly. Then her insensitive comment about a boy's dead pet dog has everyone hurl insults against he. Alone again. The operation to remove the crane goes on smoothly till Ikoma spots Mume trying to head to the boiler all by herself. Looks like the plan will be slightly delayed. Inside the boiler, Mume fights the hordes of corpses. She manages to finish them all in record time. But then more appear. Wait a minute. You mean she didn't expect more? SHT just hit the fan when they realize the dark shadows at the bottom of the tower are actually corpses trying to climb their way up. So apparently Mume's attack was futile as it only provoked this. Thanks so much for the attention, Mume. She thinks she can still handle this, but for once Ikoma tells her to shut up as he hastens the plan. Everything is going on as planned and they are at the final stretch when Ikoma sees Mume already tired fighting the corpses. She takes a beating from one and is thrown down. This means Ikoma has to go save her, but at the expense that the wreckage is still blocking the iron fortress. Yukina had to step on the brakes so as not to crash into it. Bad Mume. When the entire tower collapses, Ikoma takes Mume to hide in the mines. Then appears a giant corpse from the ruins called Smog. Titan-level corpse. Smog is made out of many corpses acting as a giant organism. Think of it as Transformers but corpse level. Iron Fortress finds shelter inside the station and closes the iron gates before Smog could catch it. Ikoma is trying to dig Mume out, talking about guilt, blame and weakness. All that don't really matter right now, right? Mume panics when she thinks she is going to turn into a corpse, so Ikoma lets her drink some of the blood reserves he has. After calming down, he puts her rescue on hold since a horde of corpses is in sight. Time to show his worth as a main character and kick ass. This brings back traumatic memories of her station overrun by corpses. Everyone got so crazy that they even started suspecting humans and killing them. One of those unfortunate was Mume's mom. She was about to meet her same fate, but somebody saved her in time. By the time she wakes up, Kabito and his team have come to rescue her. She is worried about Ikoma, but apparently he is alive despite taking in all those bites. I guess it is one of those good things of being a Kabane. Getting back into Iron Fortress, they see Smog trying to become stronger by assimilating other corpses into it. As explained by Mume, the only way to defeat Smog is to destroy the single corpse acting as its heart. Type 48 cannon will not be enough to finish it off, as there will be many corpses protecting it. Instead, after blasting open the heart, Mume will finish it with a point-blank shot. Smog picks up speed but not the Iron Fortress. Yup, some damn corpse part is stuck between the mechanism again. Sukari risks his life to take it out. One wrong move and he would be dead meat. Smog leaps onto Iron Fortress and causes havoc. After Sukari pulls it out, Iron Fortress speeds up. Takumi fires Type 48 cannon before Mume redeems herself and destroys the core. Iron Fortress runs full steam ahead out of the station. They finally reach a station that is not overrun by corpses. After docking, the engineers need to get more data iron, source for the Pierce cannon's jet bullets. Might as well take this time to stock up on food and clothes too. Seeing that today is also Tanabata, I guess it is no harm in letting some steam off. A boy talks to Yukina and is waiting for his father to return from an iron fortress. She remembers that train smashed into the station and everyone on board was corpses. She didn't want to tell him, but Sukari tells the truth right in his face, seeing it will be crueler to let him hope for a father who will never return. Although the boy doesn't want to believe, Sukari gives him the will to fight on. IM sees some local ministers to get necessities in exchange for blueprints to piercing cannon. They are awed in Kirusu's demonstration and agree. Meanwhile, Inoku sees Kogenta, who is representing the shogunate for this station. It seems there is some sort of power struggle, and while some are not happy and want to be left out, I figure that isn't going to happen. Ikoma talks to Mume. She tells him she celebrated Tanabata with her mom before but forgot about it. She was called Hazumi before her brother took her in, because she always keep wondering every morning if she would still be her sane self or turn into a corpse. Ikoma tells her not to fight corpses again. He vows to find a way to change her back into a human. I don't know if that is possible. So he is now like her mother, putting his foot down, not wanting her to fight and just fill her stomach with rice like her mom always wanted. That night, everyone celebrates Tanabata with fireworks and putting up their wishes. Ikoma gives everyone great hope when he hopes to eradicate corpses and take back their land. Next morning, everyone happily greets another incoming Iron Fortress. This one contains Hunters, an independent force under the shogunate created to specifically destroy corpses. Leading them is Lord Biba Amatori, the shogun's son and Mume's supposed brother. She is glad to see him, but not so for Ikoma. He has his suspicions and need to find out if he is a true hero or not. I hope he doesn't rub it the wrong way, like as though he is a jealous guy who will not have any other men in Mume's life. Mume introduces Biba to IM. She thought they were siblings, but apparently not. Mume just decided to call him her big brother. Then here comes Ikoma. He asks straight in his face if he was the one who taught Mume about the weak must die and the strong lives. He puts it in a way that what he meant was he wants to save them. Because survival isn't just merely about staying hidden but to stand up and fight against corpses. Hordes of corpses are coming. Seems this is all part of Kogenta's plan to lure them as bait so the hunters will go in action. And indeed we get to see them take down the corpses with their sophisticated weapons and vehicles all from close range. Yume wants to fight a mini hybrid so Biba allows her but has his subordinate, Horobai, to assist. She too is a Kabane. At the end of the battle, Inoku confronts Biba. I believe he wants to get back under serving him but Biba tells him off he has no need of him. Inoku attacks but is no match for him. Biba considers him as a traitor and has lied to him. Without mercy, he stabs him. Ikoma is distraught he killed a man seeking help. Biba is puzzled he cared for a man he has no relation to. Takumi and I.M had to restrain Ikoma and apologize on his behalf for his rudeness. Biba will have I.M and Ko accompany his side to Kongaokaku. Later, Takumi talks to Ikoma about his outburst. It seems he is bothered that Mume is a Kabane having never been bitten by a corpse. This means she was turned into one. Shortly Kogenta and his men are all assassinated by the hunters and only Hiratsuka is taken in. Flashback shows Biba didn't exactly help Mume. He tossed her a sword and told her to be strong for her survival. She picked it up and killed her attacker. It was then he took her in and told her to cast away the name weak people usually called her because she doesn't need it. Be strong, move forward. And you know how such effect can brainwash a kid. Biba then orders Mume to take the master key from I.M. In the front compartment of the train, Biba is keeping a cage filled with corpses. He interrogates Hiratsuka on whose orders his team was left for dead in the battlefield since his side was in charge of the supplies. Fearing for his life, Hiratsuka reveals it was the shogun. I.M is surprised that Mume is being pushy for her key. Yukina hears this and gives her a key to the boiler room. Mume is surprised Biba tells her it is not. This shows they are not yet willing to trust them yet. With Ikoma sensing corpses in the front, Biba tells Mume to kill him if he enters. She tries to persuade him to go away. In the process, also revealing about the corpses that Biba is keeping is for research. How else would you know the enemy? It is that same technology they turned her into a Kabane although she was the one who requested for it. Why? To be strong, silly. She still believes in Biba and will not rely on Ikoma. End of conversation. This convinces Ikoma that Biba is no hero, because he saw him smiling when he killed Inoku. Well, he can add Hiratsuka to that list. They are at the last station before Kongaokaku, but the guards only let everyone else except the hunters in. Their iron fortress is parked outside the station. I.M and Ko thought it is a good thing to separate everyone from those dangerous men, but she wished Mume was with them. I.M and Yukina go to see the lord of this station, Mita. His subject warns him of Biba's feud with the shogun, but Mita is optimistic that if it was true, Biba wouldn't have fought corpses for the shogun for over 10 years. Shortly, Biba, Horobai and Mume also enter to see Mita. Under pretense to go to toilet, Mume knocks out the guards on her way to open the gate so the iron fortress could enter. But this is when she opened Pandora's box and did not expect to see what is coming. The hunters are leading hordes of corpses into the station. Panic and chaos ensue. With this signal, Biba kills Mita and his men instantly. He then forces I.M and Yukina back to his iron fortress to witness the experiment. Mume is left feeling guilty the wake of destruction she has indirectly caused. The heartbreak of seeing a child being bitten and her mother painfully commits double suicide. The local guards think the iron fortress is here to save them, but instead the hunters shoot them all dead. This is retribution for 10 years of cowardice. Biba and Horobai have their last moment together before he injects a serum into her. Horobai turns into the core of smog as she assimilates other corpses to go on a gigantic rampage. When Mume confronts Biba about everything, he has her look at the carnage of dead people and corpses preying on humans. This is the world of fairness and equality they've been striving for. Well, it looked like world destruction if you asked me. Horobai soon berserks out of control and becomes a real corpse. There is supposed to be a cure, but Sawe the mad scientist deems she is beyond saving. Kirusu barges in to save I.M. In the confusion, she manages to get hold of the cure and threatens to toss it away. Sawe pleads her not to do something dumb as it is very precious. As he tussles with Kirusu, they fall off the train. Horobai now attacks everyone indiscriminately, killing even her own allies. When she is moments away from killing Biba, the last ounce of her humanity has her stop right before his eyes. Then Biba just stabs through her heart like as though she is a worthless piece of SHT. Sad. In the aftermath, everyone non-hunters are rounded up. Those who are bitten are immediately exterminated. Biba then announces this is their freedom, their liberation from these cages. He asks everyone to join in his fight to destroy the walls they have built, the symbol of cowardice. This is where the strong lives and the weak dies. I'm sure Ikoma is brimming with anger, but what can he do? He is beaten up and told to shut up because they are interested in his blood. Well, Mume, it is too late to think your brother has lied to you this entire time, eh? On the way to Kongaokaku, Sukari has joined the hunters and everyone doesn't take too lightly his betrayal. Ikoma is kept in a cage at the back. The other passengers are ordered to donate their blood when the time calls for it. I.M talks to Biba about his great feat as a commander 10 years ago despite he was just 12 years old then. They set out to build stations and cleared the land of corpses. One day supplies for them stopped and were obliterated when corpses surrounded them. That is why he must deliver this punishment to his father with his own hands. Ikoma and the others plan their own liberation plan to take control of the engine room, which is at the very front. Ikoma believes if they can seize it, Biba can't do anything and will be forced to release I.M and Mume. You think so? He knows one of them have the keys to that room and their plan will begin during the next blood intake is held. He believes the blood is delivered to the corpses and Biba plans to destroy Kongaokaku. Confused Mume sees Biba. She doesn't understand what is happening. Just a vague answer that he will assure the passengers' safety if they behave is enough to make her happy and put her trust in him again. The uprising begins and goes on as planned. Takumi wants to beat up Sukari but Ikoma stops him. It seems Sukari is purposely playing the traitor. That is how he could relay information to Ikoma about the train layout and such. With word of the rebellion reaching Biba, he wants Mume to take the serum. She is scared and unwilling, so he threatens her that he will stop giving the cure. For once Mume stands up for herself. She will not take it and wants to be with the passengers and eat rice with them every day. If that is her answer, Biba's men restrain and tranquilize her. Ikoma and Takumi are just a carriage away from the engine room, but the key doesn't fit. Biba and his men pop up. He knew Ikoma was planning this and switched the key. Biba fires at him, but Takumi uses his body to protect. Does Ikoma have time to cry his heart out? Well, if Biba is asking how he is feeling and depending on his answer, he might let him join his army. You know his answer, right? But his anger doesn't translate much as he gets beaten up and even loses his right arm. Then Biba orders Mume to kill him. Without hesitation, she stabs him. Capping off a bad day, he falls out of the carriage, down the cliff and into the river. With Takumi dead, Kajika even dares the hunters to just kill them all. I guess we have enough blood for today. Flashback shows the Shogun slashed Biba, but he didn't blame himself. It was fear. Biba injects the serum into Mume. The Shogun addresses his subjects about Biba's rebellion. When a subordinate mentions if he should tell everyone about Smog, upon knowing he is the only one who knows about this, the Shogun kills him in front of everyone. Information to create needless fear is not needed. As expected, Ikoma is still alive, but he is wallowing in regret and despair. He thought a corpse is nearby, but it is Kirusu and Sawe. Kirusu is mad after hearing all that has happened. It doesn't get any better as Ikoma is still guilt-ridden and can't go on. Yeah, just stay here and die. The Iron Fortress is outside Kongaokaku. They are suspicious to let it in at first, but when they heard it is from the people who captured the hunters, they let them in. Of course, it is all just a play as I.M is forced to go along with Biba's script. Using her connections with the higher-ups, she claims she and the people rebelled and captured Biba. I.M and Biba are brought before the Shogun. He takes out an old knife belonging to Biba. Biba wants him to kill him with it if he has any mercy. The Shogun felt a prick on his hand and a small drop of blood is spotted. That is when Biba tells the secret how he survived fighting corpses all this time. He can detect corpses. The biggest threat from corpses is their ability to hide among people. He warns everyone to be wary of their surroundings or they'll be the next victim. When the Shogun starts showing symptoms as a corpse, the guards panic and shoot him dead. With Biba stoking the fire that there are corpses hidden among them, everyone starts suspecting each other and before you know it, killing each other. Biba getting right back at the Shogun. Don't blame him. Blame fear. What a joke. Some of his hunters kill the rail operators to open the gates. Then the Iron Fortress opens the cage with corpses flooding the city. Feasting time. And Biba is just sitting on the throne like a boss. Kirusu is fixing the bike as Sawe bugs him to hurry, otherwise she will turn into Smog and become irreversible. Kirusu gets an idea as he talks to Ikoma about why he is still alive. If Mume pierced his heart, he would have died, right? But apparently it took a lot of skill to miss it by inches. So she purposely saved him. Well, at least enough motivation to bring sulking boy back to help. After learning that Mume needs the cure before she forever becomes Smog, time for a makeover. New hairstyle and piercing cannon attached to his arm. Let's do this. Sawe thought he wants the cure but actually the opposite. This might accelerate the virus and it doesn't work on men, but that is the power Ikoma needs. Time for a new power-up badass look too. Mume is in despair and regret. Just about the nice recipe to become Smog and all part of Biba's ultimate plan for her to crush Kongaokaku. Kongaokaku in chaos. Mume still on a rampage and her guilt is fueling it. Ikoma and Kirusu return to kick butt, slicing and blasting their way through corpses. Yukina and Ko are imprisoned as the locals blame them for bringing this scourge. Iam tells them to stop and even dares them to shoot at her. After telling everyone how they doubt their hearts and minds, they agree to listen to her and escape together. At least they're not stubborn. With Ikoma's return, Biba knows he is targeted. He tells his men to escape while he sets a date with a dying man, taking along the last cure with him. And the much-awaited last battle between Ikoma and Biba is here. Despite Biba stabbing into him, Ikoma is filled with rage and uses it as his raw brute force to turn the tables. Ikoma could have won had not he suddenly lose his senses. Or maybe he lost his humanity and just stood there making him an easy target for Biba to sneak up on him. I'm not sure if Ikoma and Mume had some telepathic communication because at the right time Ikoma turns around and blasts Biba at point blank. Well, at least Biba lost an arm. Ikoma then quickly climbs into Smog to inject the cure into Mume. Smog disintegrates like liquid. When Mume wakes up, she is disheartened to find unresponsive Ikoma before her. Is he dead? Then here comes angry Biba trying to pick a fight with a dead man. You mean it's not over yet? It is then Mume stabs her brother. She had wished he listened to her sometimes. Goodbye. As the rest ponder which routes to escape, the surviving hunters want to escape with them in exchange for route information. Many do not trust them after what they have done, but kind-hearted Iam gives them another chance. Always the forgiving type. After learning Mume's side is still alive, Kajika announces from the speaker to come to the Iron Fortress. Kirusu carries Ikoma as they make a mad dash to reunite on the Iron Fortress. It leaves the crumbling city just in time. After all that shaking and yelling from Mume, I think it is enough even to wake up the dead. That's why Ikoma lives, because he is the main character. Or rather, something hints Biba injected him with the cure during the fight since his symptoms have gone down. Happy Mume returns his dropped stone to him. This is the end of my video, so please watching all of my anime recap series. Thanks for watching.